For Brian Hall, riding his bike more than 7.5 miles to the summit of Mount Washington meant keeping a promise he made to himself years earlier.
We all just want an opportunity to live, right? I just want to have an opportunity to live my life my way.
At age 59, Brian has been living with Parkinson's disease since he was 14 years old. Yet back then, he, as well as his doctors, did not know what was wrong with him.
I had no clue what was going on with me. And this was terribly mentally debilitating to me. Because when I have an episode, I would hide because I didn't want to talk about it because I couldn't say what it was. So I was very embarrassed. And the one thing I've learned from this whole journey is the time that I spent hiding was such a waste. Such a waste.
Brian chronicles his journey with Parkinson's in his book, Not Afraid to Fall.
There was a point where I was really concerned about how much this disease would take from me and, where I was going to end up. And through that worry, I figured that it can take anything it wants from me physically, but I get to decide whether I let the pain of what I'm going through affect my spirit or my soul. If I don't allow it to touch that, I can have a great life.
Determined not to let Parkinson's disease define him, Brian embraced sports, tennis and skiing, but he faced Parkinson's signature symptoms: intolerable pain, constant foot cramping, difficulty walking. Yet he was always up for adventure. In 1992, at age 30, he skied Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in the Alps.
I was on meds, and I had to time my meds just right so I wouldn't get foot cramps. It all worked out. What a day. What a day.
Though medication helped for a while, Brian did not want to be on meds for long periods of time. He felt a healthy lifestyle was key. He took up biking and embarked on a journey that would take him to New England's highest peak. Brian got special permission to take part in the Mount Washington Auto Road bike race because he was riding a pedal-assisted e-bike. His first race was 2018. In heavy fog, he made it to the summit in 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Honestly, Audrey, I didn't set out to summit. I just wanted to participate and give myself a chance to be out there.
In a twist of fate, Brian's brother Mark, just 14 years older than him, was also diagnosed with Parkinson's when he was 18. Both brothers would eventually undergo deep brain stimulation surgery to help manage their symptoms.
By doing nothing, you're going to get no results. You have to take some calculated risks to get to a better place.
And it was Parkinson's and the race that led Brian to meet the love of his life. After a Seacoast newspaper featured an article on Brian's first race up Mount Washington, Karen Rollis recognized him at a Hampton grocery store, and they started chatting. The rest, as they say, well, you can figure out the rest.
This is going to sound crazy, Audrey, but I met the love of my life. She has Parkinson's. She gets me. I get her. Parkinson's brought us together and bonds us. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I wouldn't even know if I didn't have this disease.
At age 68, Brian's father was diagnosed with late-onset Parkinson's. When you ask Brian how he came up with the title of his book, it was, in part, from watching how his dad handled his own disease.
Not Afraid to Fall kind of says, don't be afraid to live your life. Whatever life you want to live. My dad, my brother have Parkinson's disease too. My dad died of it. And when he fell, he broke his scapula, and that's shoulder area. He never took another unassisted step in his life. And the man died in bed And I think sometimes it's not the disease that cripples you, it's the stigma of having this disease that kills you.
Brian doesn't really know a life without Parkinson's disease, yet he doesn't spend time awash in self-pity. No, that is not Brian Hall's style.
My greatest fear is being here and not living. I mean, I can't walk up my Washington, but I can ride a bike. So, I mean, and that's kind of harkens back to what I said before. I'm not focused on what I can't do. I rather look towards what I can.